what you think is making your bike better, you know, and safer, is actually making it more unpleasant. Right, hello my lovely YouTubing friends. So it is such an awesome day today. Flipping cold. If when you get into the shadows it's cold, but otherwise it's very sunny. So as you can see, we're out on the Honda, and I thought I'd bring you up to date with it, and I'm also going to show you some of the kit, an extra bit of kit that I've been sent, which I'm going to fit onto the bike. Which is something that I needed, and the very nice people at Chigee came out trumps. So really cool. I'm going to show you that. I'm not going to fit them today, but I'm going to show you what the other couple of bits I'm going to put on the bike, and also I'm going to show you where I've sort of slightly made my bike worse, and how I actually plan to remedy that. This is why it was so important to get some miles on this bike. You know, once the, if you like, the mechanical side of it was sort of finished, because I could have been heading off to Portsmouth to the ferry and thinking, oh my god, this is going to be terrible. So it's something that I need to remedy, and it also might show some people some of the problems when you're fitting some of these bits of kit. So I thought what we'll do, it's a nice day and I haven't been there for ages. I thought we head over to the bench, the Sussex bench. I've not been there for ages. I'm hoping that the grass is not all long and horrible, because I seem to remember going up there with that GSX that time and it was like parking in a shrubbery. So hopefully it'll all be good, and we'll have a chat about these new bits of kit. Nice to get back here. I haven't been here for such a long time. Things all change, that big trees come down. Blimey. These lovely little old Sussex cottages, sort of old keepers' cottages and farm workers' cottages. They're pretty. Ducks. They've survived the shooting season. Yeah, I'm gonna do our version of the Todra Gorge. My bike's going to get all dirty again. Never mind. Quite cleverly, these old tracks are all used by quad bikes and tractors and things. The question is it going to be all grown up, or someone actually cut the grass, do you think? It's going to be like a... It's not going to be like a cricket pitch, that's for sure. I'm sporting my jacket again today. I can't tell you that I've ordered another one. I've managed to get one of the Rika Adventure Pro ones, but an early-ish one, but very, very cheap, and I'll show you that once it arrives. Because you know me, I like a bargain. I'm not going to pay £300 for one. I only paid £45 for it. Right, let's see if we can get in here, shall we? Let's have a go. Not too bad, the ground's a little bit harder. Cool. Right, so here we are. It's a lovely day. I haven't been to the Sussex bench for ages. And it's sort of, the grass has just sort of died off, really. So, I thought I'd show you first the bits that are going to be going on the bike. Which I've not fitted yet, but which I'm really looking forward to doing. So you remember before about my mirrors? I had an issue with the mirrors, and I'll give you a closer look in a sec. But these are just really just coming over my shoulder. So I've managed to get hold of some of these, which are these ball mount ones, which will sit on there. So I'm hoping it's going to be a bit like that. So you can mount them, you can sort of do that with them. So I'm going to get a little bit extra. Hopefully, we all like a little bit extra, don't we? But that's the ball mount mirrors. So these weren't expensive. Well, they're about £30 for the pair. And so but they are, that's Ali. Plastic mirror, but the the ball mounts are really good. So looking forward to getting those on and seeing if I don't get them on, they won't be any different. But I think I'm going to have enough reach on there. So that's the first thing that's got to go on. But these bits are the bits I really wanted to show you. Firstly, I've got the TPMS from Chigee. So I got contacted by Chigee or a couple of weeks, 3 weeks ago now, and as you might have already seen, when I started working on this bike, I had the Chigee AO5 light on there, which I bought, and I liked that unit. And then I had Aochi get in touch with me, and they offered me the the unit with the cameras front and back and all the rest of it. So I swapped back over, which is great, and that's really nice. That Aochi unit, it's the C6, the C6D, the C6 Pro. It's really good. The only thing this version doesn't have, which I think the earlier versions do have though, is the sort of screen that gives you speed and all that sort of stuff on there, which this one doesn't, and the older units do that. And the only problem I'm going to have, I think, in Morocco and those areas, is that everything's in kilometres. And although this does give you a speed on here, it's only in the tiny little red digits, and I can't see it with my eyes. So I'm probably going to take both units with me, and I'm going to use this unit as I go down the Aochi as I go down into France, Spain, and Europe, because it's better for the screen, and I can have like the rear view and all the rest of it on there. And then possibly I'm going to change over to my AO Light because it's got that speed. I know the cups in Morocco are very hot, so I want to make sure that my speed's right, because it's much easier to see that than it is the dash on here, and it's obviously in miles per hour, but I can have that in kilometres. So that's probably what I'm going to do. But the nice people at Aochi did give me sent me these. So the C6 Pro does have the TPMS monitors on there, but they won't work with my AO Light. So they sent me the separate unit. Now I'll show these in more detail when I come to do the fitment prior to the ride, and that'll be like a separate episode. But these are this is self-powered as such. I don't need to wire it up to the battery, and this unit itself will actually sit on the handlebar, and you charge this up. It gives you quite a few months worth of life before you have to charge it again, but it just clips off and you just recharge. You get a little charging mount. So that's the TPMS, that's the G3. So I'm really looking forward to fitting those. That's what you can hear beeping. This thing, when you get movement, it comes up, it comes alive. It keeps, every time I move it in the box, it starts waking up. So that's going onto the bike. And then this, which was so cool when they asked me would I like to try one of these. I don't know if you've seen any of these. This is that Chigee TR100. Now, what's so cool about it? Because I have no charging port on this bike yet, and it's something I hadn't got around to doing yet. So I had an old charging port, which you connect to the battery and all the rest of it. But when they said would I like to try this, I got very excited. So when I did some research on it, this isn't just a charging port for your devices. It works in reverse, so you can also charge up your battery. So you can put charge back into your battery from things like these battery packs. I'll tell you something funny just about this battery pack. Right, so this little power pack, I was fiddling around the other day in the garage, and I was just doing odd little jobs on here that I thought would be worthwhile doing. And I've got a few of these power packs. I've got one which is a battery booster, jump starter pack, but you can use it like a power bank. This one, and I've got another one which is this is solar power. You can charge it by solar. I don't know how efficient these solar things are. It might take years to get it to full power. And another one that does similar thing. And I thought, you know what, if I fitted it to the back there, these are waterproof, I could just leave it there and let it charge while it's in the sun. So I thought that was a good idea. So what I did, I velcroed. I thought, well, I could just peel it off, velcro this and put it there. And just as I was coming in into the bench area, I thought, oh yeah, I can mention that, can't I? And then I felt something hit my back, and then it fell off. Look, my velcro fell off. No, but anyway, but there you go. I just want to show you that. So I can plug the battery packs into here, and I can charge put charge back into my motorbike battery. So it acts like a trickle charger, but it also acts as a fast charger because it runs. You can run it out to 100 watt. So that's really cool. And I don't know why people haven't been harping on about these things. So you get the 2 charging ports. You get a what is it, USB-C, and the normal I call it the USB 2 charger on there, which is great. But you can also charge your battery. These are about, I've got no discount code for these, but I mean, these are about £90, I think. And the thing with this is, when I come to fit this, I'm not going to fit it on my handlebars. I don't need to do that. I'm actually going to fit it into the top box, or sort of to the side of the top box, because that means I can charge stuff in my pannier on the road. I can charge up my laptop on this. So really interesting piece of kit. Look them up, but I'll do a more detailed chat about this. But the TR100, that was really impressive. Right, that's enough about selling stuff. I'm not getting anything for that, by the way, but they did send me those for free, and that's great. So I was really pleased when Chigee got in touch. Right, let's have a look at the problem that I've now generated when I thought I was making my bike better. Let's have a look. I'll have to pick the camera up because I'll show you what I mean. Let's have a look. Right, so what have I done to make my bike slightly worse than it was before? Well, it was something that came up, and I'll just stare at the bike for a minute. It was something that came up when I rode up to Doble's Motorcycles to test out that CB500X. It was the first time I had this bike on the motorway and was getting up to sort of motorway speeds. Now, I don't need to ride fast. Going down on this trip, I don't need to be going flat out or anything. But that first bit from Cairn down to Tarifa is, I'm going to be doing a bit of mileage on that, and some of it might need to be fairly quick. But what I found when I got on the motorway, I was getting vibes from this bike, sort of between 55 and 60 miles an hour. And I thought, I don't remember that being there before. And it made me think, is it because do you remember when I did the, I had to take those engine bungs off, and then had to put the titanium bolts in there, to drill it all out and put titanium bolts. Have I caused more vibration by doing that? But then I thought, well, there was no dampening in there when the bits I took off. There was no rubber mounts or anything like that. So I found this really interesting thing you could do. It's called the internet. And I went on the internet and was reading about other people having vibey problems with CB500Xs, but exacerbating the problem by fitting something. Can you tell what it is yet? Yeah, it's these. It's these that are causing me problems. These have been a bit of a nightmare for getting into, haven't they? So, so you might think, well, why has that caused you more vibration on your bike? Well, it's something. When you think about it, it seems fairly obvious. Your engine's going to vibrate anyway. Engines are not, ultra smooth when they're small, sort of high revvy sort of engines. You are going to get a certain amount of vibration, which is generated sometimes at certain speeds. You get the it's like your wheels, isn't it? Your wheels are in balance, and they might, when you lose a wheel weight, sometimes the wheel is okay, it's not vibrating, and it goes through a vibration phase, and then it stops over a certain speed. Well, that's what happens to this. Once you get to 60 in top, the vibration stops, it evens out, and that's just the natural sort of vibration of the engine, or the balance of the engine, if you like. But what you're doing, these things here are fitted here in the top engine mount, and this forward engine mount, I'll call them that, top and forward. So I'm now collecting the vibration from this part, and I'm now connecting it all the way up here, up into here, up under there, because this is held together here by 3 bolts. You've got a bolt which is not connected to anything, only to the 2 sides of the bars themselves, and then there's 2 bolts that go up underneath here, which are connected to the headstock. So what that's doing, it's transmitting vibration from here, and it can't go anywhere but up into here. So, and it's then coming through the bars, because I'm not really feeling it anywhere else apart from the bars. Right, so how do I cure this vibration problem? Well, effectively what I need to do is allow the bars to vibrate freely, and a bit like give them some sort of place to expand that frequency to offload, but without affecting the bike. sort of as it would have done before. And the only way I can really think to do that, well, there's two ways. I've either got to cut that front bracket off with the two bolts which fit into the headstock, which it will work, but the problem with that is it's going to make the bars a little bit weaker. It just means if you lean the bike over, it can push the whole bar over, whereas at the moment it'll remain rigid, hence in our problem. So what I need to be able to do is to be able to allow that vibration, which is being created, to do it freely without actually touching or minimal touching to the actual headstock. And to do that, what I'm going to have to do is undo the 3 bolts, which are on the top there. I don't need to do anything to the bottom, just the 3 at the top. Just allow them to expand a little bit. I'll pull them apart a little bit. And I'm just going to put a rubber bung between each side, just some grommets in there, just so it allow that and just it damp it a little bit, and hopefully that'll work. It's interesting that you can make what you think is making your bike better, you know, and safer, is actually making it more unpleasant. And you won't know that if you buy a bike that's already got the bars on it, and you think, well, actually these things vibrate like Billy-O. I don't want this bike, it's too vibey. And it can just be something as simple as that, that you don't allow anywhere for the vibration to go. It's coming to me. I'm the only thing that's moving. I'm the only thing that will actually accept the vibration. Everything else is staying rigid effectively. It's doing this, but I'm the bit that can then feel, and I'm the one that's dissipating all the vibration, and that's what really happens with a bike like this. So yeah, interesting to watch out for that, isn't it? So that's what I'm going to do with it. That's going to be another episode. So when I fit the mirrors and all these bits and pieces, I'll be putting my homemade damping job on there. But yeah, you think you're doing a great thing, and then you've caused another problem. All these problems have stemmed up from those flipping bungs that I had, but hey ho. Right, we'll have another little quick chat on the way around, and we'll finish the video off. But it was nice to come up to the tree. I think I should try and nick a coffee somewhere, maybe go to Fittleworth stores. Yeah. Right, see you in a sec on the road. So a couple of other things I've done on the bike since I showed you the last raft of upgrades, shall we say. I have done the screen. I've put the screen up another 3 degrees, and that has made a bit more of a difference. So that was good. I'm not going to go any further than that. I'm going to leave that as is. I still need to try my new helmet. When I say new helmet, it's a helmet I bought about, I don't know, a year ago, and I still haven't worn it. So it's another thing I need to try. But that should just clear that buffeting now. The other thing, more importantly really, is I've had Karen on pillion on this now, because when we get to Marrakesh, or when I get to Marrakesh and we meet, then we are going to do a little bit of touring around there. And you need to know what the bike's going to be like with 2 people on it, because if we hadn't have done that, she would have just rocked up and it'd like, oh no, this is terrible, we're going to have to get a taxi. But do you know what, it rode really well. And it's quite often, I don't know if anybody of you guys find this, when you put a pillion on certain bikes, they get really nice and compliant. The suspension's really nice. It sort of slows everything down, doesn't it? And you almost feel like bikes need the extra weight. So yeah, it didn't bottom out, and I was trying my hardest to find ruts and dips in the road, because I remember what I always had in my mind was the problem I had with the NC750X, my first one, where the suspension was just terrible. I mentioned that when I did the review of the other bikes, the later NCs, which are much better. But the suspension on that bike was awful. It was rock hard at the front and then ultra soft at the back. And I even put my a new shock on the back, a slightly better shock absorber on the back, and it still bottomed out. You could go over those sort of undulations and away you went. So that's good. So the suspension, which I'm still not sure whether this is standard on here or not. I think the rear might be not standard. I wouldn't really say custom then. I think that the rear suspension is different, because it looks quite new and it's not gone all rusty like a lot of these standard springs, especially on Hondas, tend to do that a little bit. Well, certainly in my experience. But it was really good, really compliant. And the nice thing is that the bike's so light, or it feels light, that when a pillion gets on, you don't have that slightly nervous moment that you're gonna be pulled over. I used to get that when on my Africa Twin. I had that. When Karen used to get on that, it was always like, oh, I just gotta. It's like brace yourself. Karen's not big by any stretch. She's only a slight little thing. So this, I didn't have that. I never felt that I was sort of like, you know, hanging on and hoping it all went well. So that's really good. I'm sort of expecting a bit of ice around here today. But yeah, so those bits that I've done. And then once as I was talking about at the bench, once I've fitted, and I'll show you how I fit those two Chigee items, particularly the TR100, which I'm so excited about having. You know, what a big game-changing piece of kit that is. So that's it really for today. Usual sort of midweek sort of roundup, and I will see you in the next episode. So I think your next episode will be the Superbike factory. I did a visit there. Let's see if I manage to get this one out for Wednesday. If not, you won't know that. You would have already seen that. But take care everybody, and I will see you in the next episode. See you soon.